Hey, welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I'm your host, Coach Zach. I'm here with Coach Terra and Coach Jolie. And today we are talking about grounding, not the kind that you do to your kids, but this one has some pretty cool health benefits. So excited to knock that out. But before we do, as always, I'd like to give a little shout out to a client of the week. And this week, this was my pick. I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Bruce Burr, who has been crushing it. So you guys have heard us say this about many of our clients before, but it is like one of the key performance indicators, consistency. He is consistent. He shows up, and I did his in-body with him earlier, or I guess end of last week, and just phenomenal. Like, looks really great. The guy's he hasn't been here that long. He's gained like 5 pounds of muscle and body fat's dropping. He's just crushing it. So super proud of him. Funny story about Bruce that I'll tell real quick, and then we'll get into the episode. Bruce, he walked in off the street and he's like, "I'm looking for Alex." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Okay, why are you looking for Alex?" And he's like, "Well, Alex has been texting me. I don't know if it's a he or she or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, Alex isn't real. That's a AI." And he's like, "This AI thing's getting scary." But we were like experimenting with this like AI like text service, and he like responded to it, and instead of scheduling an appointment, he just walked in. He's like, "Where's Alex?" And I was like, "That's just yeah. Alex doesn't exist." He's been here ever since. Yeah, he's been here ever since. So I guess AI is working. But no, it's pretty funny. All right. Keep up the great work, Bruce. So
go, Bruce.
Go, Bruce. All right, guys, let's talk about grounding / earthing. So if you haven't heard about this, earthing is, they're kind of the same thing, but I guess slightly, Terra told me they're slightly different things.
I thought they were the same. You told me they were different.
Okay. So I don't know. Maybe Jolie said it or whatever. Anyway, earthing is basically like walking on the earth in your bare feet. So connecting your feet to the earth, it can't be like concrete or tile or carpet. It's got to be like grass, soil, sand. And then grounding would be like a mat essentially that plugs into the ground in your house or a building, and has essentially the same impact, right? So before we kind of get into the topic and, kind of why this works and all of that, I'll just tell you guys a quick backstory and why I want to do this episode. So I've talked about this on previous episodes, but I have like a lot of back issues, and I've dealt with back pain for years and years and years. And I had heard about like grounding mats and earthing, and I'm like, well, I'm busy. I don't have time to just go stand outside in my bare feet in the on the grass or whatever. But I in all my research, the algorithm knew to hit me with some ads, and I got hit with an ad for a grounding sheet. So this is a sheet that you put on your bed and you plug into the ground in your house, and then you just sleep on it, right? So I was like, well, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but there's a lot of health benefits to it. So I got one, and I plugged it in, and my wife was kind of freaked out. She's like, "Are we going to get electrocuted?" And I was like, "No, it's the ground. There's no like electricity to it." And so the first night we went to sleep on this thing, and I slept so good. It was like so solid. Like I closed my eyes and I just like opened them, and I was like, "Oh, it's morning." I was out cold. It's like, okay, wonder if that had something to do with the sheet, or it's just, coincidence, whatever. But then within like 30 days, my back stopped hurting. So I would notice my back or be aware of my back pain like all day long. And then what really kind of set this off is like, I was just going through my day and I'm like, I'm not noticing my back anymore. It doesn't hurt. I'm not, it's not constantly bothering me. This was about a month in of sleeping on this thing. So I'm obviously like a believer, I know this is anecdotal, but from my personal experience, my back pain went away. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to keep sleeping on this sheet. And then 1 week, I was like, my back is really hurting this week. What is going on? Like, I don't understand. Like, did I do something or, and I went to, it was like Sundays when my wife washes our sheets every week. And so like, I went to take the sheets off at the bed and it was not plugged in. So I don't know if she made the bed the prior Sunday or I made the bed, but whoever did it forgot to plug my sheet in. And my back started hurting. So I was like, okay, there we go. Right. I plugged that bad boy in and now no back pain. So, results maybe vary. I don't know. Maybe we should.
No, it probably wasn't placebo because you didn't know that it was unplugged.
I did not know that it was unplugged. And then once, the pain came first and then I realized it. So total believer in this. And we can kind of get into why this works and what the purpose is. But I think that there's something before we do that is, I would like everybody to kind of have just a framework for, or keep this in mind as we kind of walk through this is the further away we get from just like nature, it seems like the unhealthier we get. Right. And it's like, we have all of these things that we just try to hack or implement into our lives. And it's like, this seems like the more natural things are actually the things that have the biggest impact, like breathing. Like if you do breath work, it's like there's oxygen in your, maybe not today, because it's kind of, I think we got some smoke coming over from fire, but like doing some breath work, getting sunlight, right? And walking barefoot on the earth.
The basics and probably like,
sleeping 8 hours. Those are, if you're trying to biohack your health, it's like, those are kind of some of the most important things that you can do beyond just all the, I don't want to say gimmicks because I think that they're real, but like all the additional things that are just so time consuming that we try to implement into our lives, So, all right. Go ahead, Jolie. She's got something to say.
No, it's just like kind of in a basic sense, right? If we think of like, gosh, we're getting into science, positive and negative charge, right? I believe the body is more of like a positively charged.
You're talking pH.
No, like electrons, like electricity, right? Like right? Heartbeat, we've got positively charged cells, everything like that. Yes. And the earth is more of a negatively charged, right? And so we need that balance. Things that kind of take away or kind of add to an imbalance, right? We're wearing like thick shoes, rubber-soled shoes. We're doing things that like we're using Wi-Fi. I mean, we can get like into like the nitty-gritty of how things can really impact and throw off our imbalance, but it's almost like, okay, well, why should I care about that? Because what happens is when we have more of that imbalance in the body, we've got inflammation. We have more,
stress,
anxiety, sleep. Like there's a lot of things, and it's like, there's cause and effect, and we never know if that's actually the cause. But when we're talking about going back to basics, these things, it's like, oh, I spent the day at the beach, or I was out in, walking barefoot today, and I felt like I had a better nap or a better rest, right? Like these things coming back to basics can just make a big difference.
Well, yeah. I mean, you just go back to like, if you go to the beach and you're just like sitting on the beach in the sun,
swimming
with your feet in the sand. Yeah. Like so I think what you're getting at is, I think everybody kind of knows, like your pH balance, right? I think most people kind of have a familiar idea. pH just stands for like potential hydrogen. And it's basically like an electrical charge or level of electrical charge. And the lower that charge is, the more acidic you are. The higher the charge, the more alkaline. Right. And it's true that like disease and inflammation cannot survive in an alkaline environment. So when you yeah, like we're electrical and the earth is electrical. When our feet touches either the soil or our bare feet touch the soil, or we lay on like a grounding mat, we instantly start discharging. Right. And so what will happen is nothing really changes your pH too much. It's fractions of a point. But if you can change your pH and become just a little more alkaline, then inflammation starts to, go down in your body at a cellular level. Our cells are, you can think of like magnetic. And so if you do some grounding or some earthing, your red blood cells prior to that are typically kind of like, you can think of like a magnet that's attracting them. They'll kind of clump together somewhat or bunch together. And after grounding, that electrical charge will basically reverse that and they'll push away from each other within a blood cell. So what that means is like better oxygenated blood, better circulation. And so from a cellular level, your body is operating at a much, I guess, higher level or ideal level. Yeah. What you got, Terra? Tara had like a page of notes coming into this episode. Last week I was like, I want to talk about this because I've had this experience. And then Jolie comes in my office and she's like, Tara has like a page of notes. I think she's really, she's like, I think she's ready for this episode. So no pressure, but
I just like to be prepared. Like I knew the bare minimum of what it was.
Yeah.
But never really thought to look into the true benefits.
Okay.
So like I have friends who he's like on a barefoot journey. So like he does most of his life barefoot for the most part.
Just like walking,
he hikes, he does all of it barefoot.
Ouch.
So I knew like the idea of what people were doing to get connected, but I just wanted to know more like why. What's the benefits? Why?
And what conclusion have you come to?
So everything that you've just touched on, like they've done research and it has been proven to reduce inflammation in the body. It has, with that reduced inflammation, has also showed an improvement in sleep. People have experienced improvement in sleep, improvement of mood has also been seen.
I don't know that I haven't experienced
improvement in mood.
Mm-hmm. And you were just talking about the blood. They've also showed an improvement in blood viscosity. As well. So just seeing those improvements, like, oh, well, this might be something to either look into doing or just go hang out at the beach, go have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Get out of the city.
I think that, going back to kind of what I was first saying is like we've gotten so far in our society, like away from just what's natural. And then you're mentioning like, we got Wi-Fi signals like run through us. If you stand in front of a computer monitor, Jolie the other day, she was in my office. We were working on something and we're standing in front of the computer monitor. She's like, is that like screen? Is it just like too powerful? You get those like the EMFs coming off of there. Like,
is it a me thing?
I was like, man, I guess I got to get one of those grounding mats to like stand on at my desk. Yeah. But I think the inflammation, I think if you look at our society, like there is chronic inflammation caused from environmental toxins, caused from poor diet, caused from stress. I mean, constant stress that people experience in their lives, all kinds of issues. And then you can add to that like an injury, or even if it's like a past injury that, is still nagging, like my back, for instance. If we can reduce that inflammation, imagine just like how good you'll feel just from that. Like I have to honestly say, like in my experience, my quality of life has improved simply from sleeping on the sheet. Right. So I wanted to share that with everybody because I've suggested it to some of our members that have had similar situations with like chronic back pain. And I don't know if that's, my situation is probably a percentage of people that benefit from this, but there's lots of solutions. The easiest one, the freest one is like, hey, in the morning, get up, go walk around your yard. If you have, grass or dirt or sand, no, probably don't have sand in your backyard, but walk around barefoot for, 15 minutes. And, as soon as your feet hit, you start discharging. So it's like, within fractions of a second that occurs at a cellular level. But I think like 15 minutes is kind of the optimal recommendation last I've read, but it could be 3 to 5 minutes. So literally if you're just go out in the yard and
get some sunlight,
pick up some dog poop, walk around barefoot.
Or that.
Carefully. But I think that would be like the easiest, solution. But then also, if you want to take this to the next level, like, you could do a grounding sheet. They make PMF mats that you can put under your sheets, which I don't know exactly how that works. I think it's supposed to be equally as effective, but it seems strange to me. It's like that's on your bed and then you put a sheet over that. I don't know. But I guess it doesn't matter if you're like sleeping clothes, so on a sheet. So I guess your body's still getting enough of that. Or they also have these mats that you can buy and you can lay on or stand on. They make them for desks too, that you can stand on and be, grounded. So, and then I've also heard some, I guess I haven't been able to find any evidence of this, but I apparently there's 1 or 2 studies that show that plugging into the ground in your house, the electrical outlet, the ground, if you guys look at an electrical outlet, at least in the US, it's like you got the 2 on each side and then the bottom one is the ground. So the ground is basically just a wire that is going into the ground. So all of your house goes into basically a rod, and that rod's buried somewhere near your house. But I've heard some things of like, hey, that ground is picking up other things in your house, not just the earth. And so it doesn't work, where it's coming back onto you, but they call it like, it could be dirty electricity. I don't know. Mine's plugged into the ground in my house, but some people go as far as like running an extra rod and burying it in their backyard and then having a wire go to like their mat or their sheet. So don't necessarily know how much there is to that, but do your own research, look it up. But if you are you feel like you're struggling with, aches and pains, which a lot of people are, and possibly like some chronic inflammation
or just stress in general,
or you're not sleeping well, right? Your heart rate variability is really important, especially around how well you sleep. Like grounding has been proven or shown to increase heart rate variability. So there's lots of health benefits to this. And if all you have to do is like buy a sheet and lay on it, then that's pretty simple. That's pretty simple. And now I will say it's not the softest sheet in the world because it has like silver running through it. But once you lay on it, you don't really notice. So I did, one of our clients, Haley, got one. I was telling her about it. She got one and she's like, I wish it was softer. I was like, yeah, I don't really, notice. But you guys have anything to add?
I think we hit on everything.
I nailed
Stress, inflammation. Anybody can benefit from it, really, is what the big takeaway.
Do you do it?
Grounding?
Yeah.
So I put my feet on the earth.
Or just, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't go as far as like hiking or anything.
That's
like
hardcore.
Yeah.
What about you, Terry? You gonna bring this into your life?
Yes, but in spades.
In spades.
I can't do grass. I'm allergic to grass.
Oh, so you're
I
gonna
have to be in sand or on dirt.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to go to Home Depot, buy some soil, put it in a in a bucket.
Well, my backyard's not all the way complete, so
Oh, okay.
I do still have
Little
dirt
patches, little dirt patches. Tara, you drug mud in the house, dirt in the house again.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. Well, that's what we got for you this week. We'll be back next week with more great stuff. Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.